This is Wilson Morales from Black Community TV talking to Deborah J Winans, who's on season 3 of the Terror Lake Drive series, Terror Lake Drive Summer Purge. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Good. Obviously, this is the second series you've done following what you did on your Greenleaf. So what led you to say yes to taking on this project?
I really enjoy working with the creator slash director, Jerry LaMothe. I worked with him on another project and just enjoyed his energy and the way that he went about things. And so when he reached out for this, I was very excited because at the end of the day, I have learned we spend so much time on a set. So you want to do it with people that you enjoy working with, and that enjoy you. You want to go somewhere where you feel loved and embraced. And so that was an easy yes for me.
Mhm. Now, right off the bat, when the series starts, we see things are not going to be as what it's simple as it may be. Here's a family. She got debts. She's avoiding the collectors, but then all of a sudden, here comes a windfall she didn't see coming. But
Yeah.
then that's too good to be true. What more can you say about Janice DuVernay?
Um, when you are in a position where you have children, you have lost a spouse, and you are just trying to keep your head above water, you become very cynical when something like an inheritance out of nowhere drops into your lap. Um, and it's very easy for the kids to just see it and think, oh, we're rich. And one of my favorite lines of Janice's is that everybody's counting money we don't even know we have yet. Um, and so she's in a space where she's trying to understand what's going on, trying to understand what is this really, and is this something that is going to be beneficial to us? Will this help us? Will this get me out of this debt that I'm in? Will this allow us to breathe for a hot second? What is this, and why didn't I know about it? So I think that when you meet her, she's a bit cynical and a bit of a non-believer, and all that glitters is not gold. But you will also come to see she might be right.
Was it about the character that you can relate with as you try to embody the character?
I can relate to the motherhood of it all. I have a 2-year-old son, and the way that I think Janice will do anything for her children, I get it. And my mom would always say that growing up, but then it wasn't until I had my child where I really realized, oh, I will do anything, anything. Like,
Mhm.
try me if you want to. I will do anything for this child. And so I really, really relate to that. Um, and I relate to just teachers and how hard it is to be in a room full of children that just don't understand, or not they are not grateful for everything that you are trying to give them and instill in them. um I loved being able to pull back the layers of who Janice is.
Mhm. Now, even though this is an anthology series, had you watched the previous two to get an idea as to how the flow of the show may go?
Oh, absolutely. I always do my homework, baby. I watched both seasons.
And then for you, obviously, you've done movies, you've done a series, but here you're the centerpiece of the series. How is it? How have you evolved from as an actress from the other projects you've done to doing this?
Ooh, I have evolved a great deal, both on screen and off. And that is something that I love and am proud to be able to say. Um, I've always said I don't want to be the same in my 30s as I was in my 20s. I always want to be able to see growth in every area of my life, and to look at my work and to see the growth from Greenleaf to Color of Love to Sisterly Christmas to Don't Waste Your Pretty. I am constantly seeing my work elevate. And so when I sat down and watched the first 2 episodes of Terror Lake Drive, um, I was really, really proud. It's one thing to be on set and to know you're really giving everything you've got. Because that's what I do anywhere I go. If I say yes, I'm gonna give you everything I got. And I felt like on set, I was literally giving everything I had. It's one thing to feel that way. And then when you actually see the result and really see the growth and just the beauty of the evolution of who you are, I was stunned. The director kept saying, I really can't wait for your peers to see you in this. And I didn't get it. I was like, oh okay. And we watched, and I was like, huh, yeah, I can't either. I'm really proud. I see the work that I do on the side, that I do every day, and I see it on screen. And then the relationships that I've been able to cultivate and create. I wasn't able to do that before. I didn't really know how. So the growth on and off screen for me, she's thriving. That's what I can say. And I'm very proud to say that.
The strike is over. We're talking great, but there was a period of time where everybody had to reflect on life and their careers.
Yeah.
Because as this trickled beyond actors, a lot of people were affected. In terms of like, oh, if they're not working, I'm not working. If they're not eating, I'm not eating. Whatever. You've got to pivot. And obviously, sadly, we had the pandemic to think about how do we need to do certain things. So doing this was already shot and in the can, just ready to come out.
Yeah.
But did the strike help you think as to what you want to do in terms of the projects you want to do moving on from this?
The strike I think the strike really taught me patience. It taught me, we say we trust God, but then it's not until you're in a situation where you can't do nothing but trust God.
Yeah, like
you figure out if you really trust him or not.
I'm gonna buy this lotto ticket.
Yeah, look, and I learned a higher level of trusting God. Because you're right, it affected so many people. A lot of the makeup artists, a lot of hairstylists, a lot of catering, so many people were affected, and it taught you to see past yourself and to be patient and be kind and just try to trust God with everything you have. And at the end of the day, my trust and my faith grew exponentially during this strike. And it did give me a bit of a freedom to just believe that other projects were coming and what did I want them to look like. And seeing myself as a leading lady and praying and believing that other people will see that too. And knowing that I want to do different things. I want to get into some sci-fi. I always want to do a drama. I always want a rom-com. I found out I'm a little funny. So maybe a comedy. I'm here for all of it, God. I'm here and I'm trusting and believing, even though I can't really see my way out. That's where my mind was during the strike.
As an actor and as a Black actor, we all know how sometimes we have to code switch. And you look at this series, and right away, the kids are the first one to pick up. Like, ain't this supposed to be Atlanta? What's up with all the people around us?
Yes.
Have you been in scenarios where you're like, okay, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. Let me watch my P's and Q's and how I talk, but let me see how they talk to me first before I go into what they have, before I speak the way I need to speak.
Absolutely. I think that's almost every room I go into. I'm like, what is this? Okay, let me see what they're doing, and then I'll know how to respond. Yeah, I think that's a part of the world that we live in. That is, until you go somewhere where you are truly the majority, you are constantly checking to see, oh, is this safe for me to be my full self? So yes, I find myself there on a regular basis.
Even when you say, the majority, you still have to think about it. You could be in a room and it's a whole bunch of youngins,
Yeah.
and you got to find a way how to connect, because they're going to be
Yeah.
looking at you like, oh, you're the statesman,
Mhm.
like you may not understand today's lingo,
Mhm.
every
And a
time.
lot of times I don't.
Yeah.
I had to, oh my gosh, the kids on set, we were sitting there between takes one day, and one of them said, oh yeah, you got rizzed. And I'm just listening to them talk, and they just kept saying rizzed. I said, y'all, what is rizzed? And they said, oh, come on, mom. I said, no, really, what is rizzed? And it's like, you got rizzed up. Like, you got rizzed. I said, what does rizzed mean? And
I
they
don't
said,
know.
like charisma, like someone. I said, this is where we are. We're shortening charisma. You don't
I
want
know,
to
right?
say they have charisma? I said, oh yeah, I fail. I fail at the lingo today. And that's what it is.
Hey, you got to chew your ends and give it some time. You're going to learn how to catch up. When they start speaking in code and you start reading, you're going to sneak away to be looking at their texticles. Uh-oh, I do not know what this means now. They gotten
So when I
smarter.
do all the letters, oh my gosh, I'm like, what is this? Yeah, that's where I am. I'm 40. It is what it is. I just turned 40, and I'm accepting it.
you know, you've worked, with different directors. Obviously, when you take this on and you're the centerpiece of the show, does that give you much more confidence in whatever projects you do next, as far as how do I go in there, whether it be a small role or big role, how to tackle it, knowing I just led this series?
Oh, absolutely. I certainly think this has been a very strong boost of confidence. A lot of times during the course of shooting this, I wondered, do I have enough to carry a series? Like, am I enough? That was a question that I asked myself quite a bit. Um, and I am enough. And as you discover or continuously discover who you are, how you create, what you have, I think whatever you say yes to at the end of the day, whether it's the same size role or if it's a supporting role, but whatever you decide to say yes to, um, you have to go into it with everything you have. And this has certainly made me feel like I can decide if I want to say yes or no to something. Um, it's not about, I just got to get something. I just got to get out there. It's, I know what I want. I know what I can do. And I have the confidence to wait on it. And more than the confidence, I have the belief that what God has for me, and how he has allowed me to see myself, I believe others will see it. And so, yeah, I've got the confidence to go for what I want, and to believe that I'm enough, and to wait on the thing that I know God has for me.
I always say, there's a glut of product out there now, especially it's good for Black actors. There's a lot of, stuff that's on streaming, on cable, whether or not you got in the theaters, we got movies, with color coming up, you
Mhm.
know. So you have to market everything, it doesn't matter whether it's good or not, you just gotta let people know. You're 3 episodes in already, we still want people to know, which is great because it gives time for people to catch up. Sometimes when the show airs all its episodes at once, if it doesn't get the buzz 3 weeks in, it could be DOA,
Yeah.
because, every week there's 20 new other shows coming out,
Yeah.
you know? And so that being said, what is it that what's it about the show that's gonna get people to watch it? If they haven't started watching already?
I think that this show will hold viewers because of the relatability to the world now. A lot of times we say that art imitates life, but we don't really see it to this degree. And I think that this is so well written, well produced, well directed, because it takes pieces of real life, what we're going through on a daily basis. And it allows us as people of color to see ourselves in a way that we should, to see representation in a way that matters, to gain some history on where we come from, and to start questions about just the beauty that we come from. We come from royalty, and as you dig, you find all of this stuff out, and I think this show shows you the bad history, but also the great history, and it sparks conversation, and it allows us to be seen and heard in a way that I truly don't think that we have been. And I love that the director, in a lot of what he writes, there's always some sort of grounded spiritual force. There's always a connection to God in really all that he does. And so to see how he connects God and these people, and sort of like at the very root of who we are and where we come from, is really, really exciting to me. And so I think that's going to be something that continues to have viewers drawn in week by week. And then, of course, all of the suspense and the thrilling roller coaster, you can't get enough.
That's why I didn't want to bring up anything, because we don't want to spoil anything, because it's a weekly show. We want people to keep talking what's going to happen week to week. I've known Jerry for over 20 years, so it's great that he still works, and how the series and franchise has become a thing, which is great. Congrats on your role. Let's see where it goes down the road. All I know is, like, at least we know she ain't going out early.
Got 3 episodes and she ain't gone.
She ain't going out early. She the black lead. So
Look,
congrats. I'm sure we'll talk down the road on this project, or if not something else. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you, Wilson. Thank you so much. And you have a great one too. Thank you for having me.
Bye.